We're live! Hi!
Hey everybody!
Welcome to Tea Time with Team Epic Reads. Cheers!
Cheers! Happy tea time!
Happy Wednesday.
This is our 73rd episode of Tea Time with Team Epic Reads.
Yeah, and full disclosure, we're still a little book hungover from ARC Party.
Yeah, if you missed last week's Tea Time, we had an ARC Party. I suggest finding the YouTube link and watching it after this Tea Time. This week's episode is it's a welcome back episode because all summer long we haven't had like any books on sale,
and we have, you can't see them, but
we'll show you
lots of the books.
There are so many new books on sale this week. It's sort of like the start of fall. Like fall's back, and so goodbye money, summer savings.
And free time, because now you're either in school or you're reading books.
But it's kind of awesome that way. So, and a lot of the books that are on sale this week are the Ends to series. So this week we are discussing our favorite recently finished series. So, stuff that's ended this year.
If you are watching, this is your first time watching, I am on Twitter using the hashtag Tea Time. Look at that. We made a sign. So tweet along and we'll read out your tweets. Join in the discussion. It's a fun time.
I have YouTube happening over on one of these sides. I never know which one it is. And so we'll be checking in and seeing what you guys are up to.
I'm already going to shout out Amanda Murphy at PBRBTMG. And she said, excited for tea time. Got my lemon zinger tea, some shortbread, and my current book. And there's a picture of Goddess by Josephina Angelini. So
oh, nice. Oh, I put my tea away. Oh, come back. I want some shortbread.
My tea is missing some shortbread. It's freezing in this office, so it always feels like fall, and a hot tea in the middle of a Wednesday feels great.
So we're going to switch things up a little bit this week, and we're going to start with our question of the week, and the question comes on YouTube from Cindy Hart. Cindy asks, where is your favorite place to buy books?
Okay, so if you guys know or watch Tea Time at all, I don't like ebooks, and I love hard physical books, and part of that experience is going into the bookstore to get them. I love talking to the booksellers. I love kind of just like I walk along the walls and feel them all. It's really weird, and my favorite.
It's not weird. I think that's pretty typical for a book lover.
And my favorite place to do that is at my local bookstore, which is the Greenlight Bookshop in Brooklyn, and I love it. And hat tip to you for being amazing.
My favorite bookstore is also an indie bookstore. It's in my neighborhood in Brooklyn. It's called Word Bookstore.
Word.
So shout out to Word Bookstores. I kind of want to make this into an indie bookstore recommendation. So what is your favorite indie bookstore? Give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Tweet, tell us about your favorite indie bookstore, because indies need the love.
I just love, my favorite part about my indie bookstore is it like invites you to stay.
Yeah.
Like there are chairs and things, but they are put in thoughtful places to like sit and devour like a book or just start reading a book.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when I get into a bookstore and I pull a book off a shelf, I have to kind of start reading it immediately.
You're right.
And it feels weird reading it not in a space made for reading.
Let's see. Sarah Gray K on YouTube says half price books, which I feel like is just going to be a danger zone because I would just spend all of the money there. Lots of people are saying Barnes & Noble. If you guys are ever in New York, you should definitely go to the Barnes & Noble in Union Square. It's their flagship store, and it's like four levels. It's awesome. It's so awesome.
Fun fact, I used to work at Borders in
R.I.P.
R.I.P. in the Time Warner Center that's in Columbus Circle, and that's where I met most of the celebrities I've met in my life.
Buying books?
Buying books.
Fascinating.
It's pretty cool. They're just like us.
Down the book hole on YouTube says Schuler's. I've never been there. Ooh, Marsha Bursak on YouTube says, hi from Serbia. I think that's our first Serbian viewer.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Serbia. Chrissy at Chrissy of York says Amazon, because you can usually get them on the cheap.
That's true. Really good deals on Amazon.
When you gotta get down to it.
My favorite ebook retailer, though, is probably the Google Play books, because they have this little fancy thing, so when you turn the pages, it looks like the page is actually being turned. I don't know why, but I really like it, and it makes me happy. Somebody, I think Melissa Giorgio said Books of Wonder in Manhattan. Yes, Books of Wonder. If you're coming to New York and you can only go to like 2 bookstores, go to the Strand and Books of Wonder. They're both like, they're like 4 blocks away from each other.
And they're amazing. The only reason that we don't frequent them because they're not near our home.
Like, I go to the Strand actually a lot. My boyfriend and I, that's like our standard date, is to go get fried chicken and then go to the Strand. But Books of Wonder is just a children's only bookstore, so they have the most amazing YA selection of any bookstore.
Yes.
Although I also had to also shout out a hat tip to my hometown indie bookstore, Joseph Beth in Cincinnati. They also have an amazing YA section, and all of their employees are just like so super knowledgeable about YA, and it makes me really happy. Sometimes I like to go in and like pretend like I don't know anything and just like test them and just see how much they know, and they usually know everything.
Cool.
So hat tip to them.
Kim Perk says, "Hi from the Netherlands. First time watching Tea Time Live. So excited."
From the Netherlands.
Hi. I like the Netherlands a lot.
Have you been to the Fault in Our Stars bench?
It got stolen.
Did they get it back yet?
Maybe. I don't know.
So, what are you guys reading this week?
Tell us. Tweet at us.
What we're reading is sort of going to lead into also our new releases.
All of the new releases. Many new. There's so many new.
Oh, Sally Upside Down on YouTube said, my closest bookstore is 45 minutes away. Luckily, a lot of indie bookstores now will ship online, so
yeah,
Powell's is a good one. Word, they all do. Anyway, so this week I am reading. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I am reading this new release, Feral by Holly Schindler. This is one of the more absurdly bizarre and creepy books I've ever read. I am about 100 pages into it, and I'm still not sure what's going to happen because I'm not entirely sure like what's happening in this world. Basically, it starts out with this girl. She gets brutally attacked. I mean, fair warning, it is graphic. The first 2 chapters are extremely, extremely violent. So if you're at all, get a little queasy or opposed to any kind of violence, you may want to skip the first 2 chapters in this book. But this girl, she gets attacked, she survives, and then after she heals, she and her dad, they move to this town called Peculiar. And peculiar things start to happen. And that's about as far as I'm in there right now, but it's very much reminiscent of like In Cold Blood, like all those like adult sort of like famous thrillers, where you're not entirely sure what's going to happen, but it's kind of creeping you out, and you're kind of scared, but also nervous, and it's just lots of things that are happening in this. And she writes these like it takes place in winter, and so all of her scenery is all very like icy and wintry, and it's just such a good like setting and world for it. So
yeah,
I'm excited, and I will tell you about the rest of it when I finish.
I'm excited.
But that's new this week. But first, I have to undress it because I haven't undressed this one yet.
Ooh, pink.
Oh, pink foil. I believe that's the word for it.
Foil.
What are you reading this week?
I am reading, I can't talk very much about the book without spoiling, but this will lead into the discussion later about favorite series. I'm reading Rats. This is the final book in the Defiance trilogy. Logan and Rachel.
If you love dual point of views, like books, this is one. And yeah, I ship them like, so hard. They may be my OTP. They're up there.
They're really good. This series I really, really enjoy. I will pause the discussion when we move on because there's lots of things I want to say about it. But let's go through what else is new.
Well, first let's check in and see what everybody else is reading here. Let's see. Jasmine Dubois. I am reading Throne of Glass and Clockwork Angel. Loving them both.
Oh, nice. Matilda Bayard is reading Codename Verity by Elizabeth.
How far into it are you? Because I want to say something to you, but only if you finished it.
No, just don't.
So I won't say it.
Don't do it.
But But everybody who's read Codename Verity knows the quote. So if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. Key Read That and Etc. on YouTube says, I just finished Isla and the Happily Ever After and was swooning.
Oh, nice.
Such swoon.
Barbara Brown just said, just finished Queen of the Tearling. Loved it.
Yay. Oh, that one's going to be a movie with Hermione.
Caitlin S16 just says Farrell gets creepier.
Right? That's what I know. It's. I mean, the way that book starts, it's gotta get real weird real fast. I bet. Somebody said they were watching for the first time, and that was awesome.
Leslie_@livingfree is reading Berserk BZRK
by Michael Grant.
Though I haven't really read much of this week because I've been working out, but it equals too tired. So you're working out so you can't read?
Read at the gym.
Read at the gym.
The recumbent bike is an excellent way to work out your butt, but also get some reading in at the same time. Little tip from me to you.
Butt tips.
Butt tips. Butt and reading tips. Madeline S. is reading Paper Towns by John Green.
Call Me Kate is just started Dear Killer by Catherine Ewell. Ewell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That book I really like that book. It's a hard one to read, but I really enjoyed that one. Masha Bursak says Hollow City finally. God, I'm still behind on that series. I need to get on that.
@Shy Book Nerd Stacy says, I'm reading Beware the Wild, and it is very creepy. That was one of our ARC Party books.
It was one of our ARC Party books. Ooh, Learning Lights on YouTube, Persepolis 2. That is one of my favorite graphic novels. Oh, God, that's so good. If you haven't read Persepolis, you should totally do that.
I like that on Twitter there are a lot of Logan and Rachel fans.
Yes!
What?
Okay, awesome.
So what else? Positive by Paige Raw. It is a memoir. It's basically a bullying book. She was born with HIV, and it just tells like her personal struggles dealing with that and dealing with just general bullying issues.
Yeah, so she was born HIV positive, but didn't know until she was 12 years old, and then she told her best friend, like in confidence, strictest confidence, but of course the word got out, and because of that, everybody in her school started bullying her, including her soccer coach, who basically told her that she could totally score because no one would want to touch her. Like, I can't even imagine if somebody like a soccer coach or a teacher was also bullying you.
Yeah.
So she left that school and started homeschooling, but missed, the everyday camaraderie that you get in school. So she started a new school, and that other school ended up being really supportive, really positive, and now she's telling the world her story. And I think she's going off to college soon, maybe this fall, and hopes to become an AIDS researcher, which is very awesome. And so we're doing this thing next week. We'll talk about it again. But we're doing this thing called Positive Project, where we're going to challenge everybody for 24 hours to only be positive and spread positive messages out into the world. So that's next week, but we'll talk about that more then. Also on sale, Ray Carson fans. I feel like I'm just sitting here. I know. Look, I love it.
I love you, Ray Carson. You are my favorite of life. And so is Hector.
Hector. So there's 3 short stories told from 3 different characters' points of view, and the King's Guard is told from Hector's point of view, and we love Hector.
Oh, God. We love Hector.
Who is basically Jon Snow. Like, when I read that book, I just picture Jon Snow from Game of Thrones as Hector. Kit Harington?
Yes. Yes, I see that.
Yeah?
But he's got more personality.
Than Kit Harington? Oh, yeah, duh. And he knows more.
Ooh, yeah, he knows lots more. He's not kind of just bumbling about, being like, oops.
All right, so now it's time to get into we have more new releases, but all the other ones are all part of series. So thus begins
our series
discussion. Okay, so I'll let you do this one because you were a big fan of this
I am a big fan. So, Undead with Benefits is the second book from Jeff Hart. The first book is Eat Brains Love. It's a paperback original. It made me laugh out loud, like, on the train. And I'm pretty a guarded person emotionally.
Sorry.
That smells like a library.
It smells interesting.
It smells lived with.
It's got some yellowed pages, so maybe it has been lived with.
It is really, really funny. Jeff definitely has, like, like that. We've talked about Shaun of the Dead. I think I'd reference Shaun of the Dead. It has that irreverent kind of like what an everyman would do if they all of a sudden realized that they were like a zombie and how they would approach life. That, like, I think it's just a lot of fun. If you like, I mean, they compared on the back to John Hughes, but I think it's even like more biting humor than that. It's definitely very sassy. There's road trips involved. It's a lot of fun, and just funny zombie humor and brain eating.
So since that's about zombies, do you have a favorite zombie?
Do I have a favorite?
Do you guys have a favorite zombie? Who are your favorite zombies? Our discussion's kind of going all over the place.
It is
today.
It's like
stay with us. We're keeping
party
you
hangover.
Our party hangover. I know, right?
Shaun of the Dead is definitely.
Shaun of the Dead?
Look at this. We printed pictures.
Walking Dead, anybody?
I go more the comedy route.
Censor the zombie boobies.
I tend to go more comedy route than serious zombie because I have a hard time taking zombies seriously. Except 28 Days Later, like, actually scared me because they seem like superhuman. But, like, traditional zombies, like the Walking Dead zombies.
This is, like, the most horrifying cutout for this. Yeah, 28 Days Later is legitimately terrifying.
Terrifying. This, like, just don't bother them. I don't know. They're slow and they don't do things. So.
I maintain that the reason why that 28 Days Later is so much scarier than all the other zombie movies is because, unlike the other ones, you just have to be bitten in order to turn into a zombie. And this blood, if blood just, like, gets in your eye or in your mouth or anything, like, any place, you turn into a zombie. And you're not a slow, meandering, like, zombie. You're just like, I'm gonna kill all of you.
And that's why, like, I like Shaun of the Dead, Eat Brains, Love kind of zombie things because it's kind of how they end up in those circumstances, or like you're like, oh wait, this is happening. Oh, I just got bit. Now this is crazy. Like they end up kind of like they're kind of not all there and paying attention, walking around in the zombie apocalypse, and that's how they get like in trouble.
So this is like more like Rot and Ruin, and Shaun of the Dead is more like Eat Brains, Love.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm a huge Mila Jovovich fan, so
Resident Evil is.
I've done Resident Evil Halloween costumes for like 5 years in a row, because that's just a really easy costume. Anyway, so let's check in with the people.
Oh my God.
Nikki H on YouTube says, my favorite zombies are from The Walking Dead and Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Denard.
Nice. Which I have. Danielle just said, at Dan the Avenger, says, I have 965 books in my TBR pile.
965?
I would say that maybe you should not be watching us right now.
Oh my God.
And you should be
reading. Messis, MEHSIS on YouTube says, with a second place to Living Dead, Love Story, and Zombie series. I mean, I've heard a lot of really good things about the Zombie series.
I haven't heard anything about it.
I think it's really popular in Canada.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
And more, I see somebody mention Warm Bodies. Warm Bodies is more in the same vein that I like, of like a self-aware zombie perspective is something I enjoy.
I like the creepy stuff. Like The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan is still one of my favorite zombie. It's sort of like Walking Dead meets The Village. That's right. That's
the Village.
Yeah. So it's like, oh man, so good. Zombies are. I will always love a good zombie story.
There's a lot of Warm Bodies love happening on Twitter.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, Maeve Fortune on YouTube says, hey from Ireland, first time live. Hey!
I love your country. Galway? Galway's my favorite.
I have family from Cork. I don't know where that is, but that's what I've heard.
My family's from County Kerry.
I'm pretty sure every American has some sort of Irish roots.
Yeah. All right.
What else do we have?
More series. Far Dawn, the final book in the Lost Atlantis series.
Lost Code, Dark Shore, Far Dawn. Kevin Emerson. If you guys read Exile, he's got this other series, but now it's over, and that's sad.
But you can read it all at once.
And now you can binge it all at once.
You can binge it.
We also have the Don't Turn Around series by Michelle Gagnon,
a.k.a. Margot's girlfriend.
I have a huge crush on Michelle Gagnon. She used to be a dancer and is so pretty and such a good writer, and she's super fun.
These books read so fast. I'm a pretty slow reader. Like, it's just the rate that you guys read just astonishes me. These books I tore through so quickly. They're like Dan Brown levels where you're just like
every chapter like ends on a cliffhanger and you're just like, okay, one more chapter, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then you're like, no, I can't.
But the chapters are also like really short. So it does it to you. You're like, oh, I could totally do it. And then you're like, oh, I finished the book and it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
This series is about a badass hacker who's basically sort of like the girl from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, except teenage age.
Yeah, teenage age.
And there's like this whole big conspiracy theory and like with the government and oh my god, they're running around Boston and
I'm watching a lot of Orphan Black. And it has the same kind of feel, minus the cloning. Where like there's big business corporation things that you're trying to figure out.
Dharma Initiative.
All those things.
This is the hardcover of Don't Turn Around, but the paperback has a different cover.
Yes.
And it looks of a piece to all of these other ones. So, fare thee well, this series. We also have Sanctum is finally here, the sequel to Asylum. Not the last book in the series. There's going to be one more, I believe. But it is the sequel, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition.
And it's only on Tea Time and at Barnes & Noble stores.
In Barnes & Noble stores everywhere. There are lost warden journals and postcards, and we're going to show you some of the postcards. So you guys can buy the book and then fill out the postcards.
That looks like a dance shot.
And then you can send us some postcards if you want.
Yeah.
We'll accept postcards.
Or Snapchat pictures of your thing.
Snapchat. We haven't done Snapchat this week.
We'll do it afterwards.
Okay, final. Is this? No. We have. Oh my God. More. We've got two more. Hang on. 2 more releases, guys.
While you're saying that, we have a viewer at the Potterhead from Romania and Panda Nunu from Bulgaria.
Oh my God. We have so many cool people from all over the place. But we have Serbia, Ireland, Bulgaria, Romania.
Book nerds of the world unite.
Taking over the world.
I love it.
Book shimmy. Okay. All right.
So the last 2 series, I mentioned this. The question of the day, which our discussion has kind of gone everywhere, is what is your most favorite series that has ended recently?
And yours is?
What I'm reading now. Like, bang-a-rang, bang-a-rang.
It goes like this.
That one's in the middle. There you go. So Defiance, I'm trying to say this without being as spoilery as possible.
Well, just tell everybody what Defiance is and not the other 2.
But then what the thing I want to say is what makes it so good. But I will, okay.
If you want to have a recap of what happens in the first 2 books, there is a series recap on the Epic Reads blog. The link is in the description.
Yeah.
Along with links to all these new releases.
So Defiance is high fantasy. Well, not high fantasy. Pretty high fantasy. There's a dragon in it.
It's sort of a cross. It's like dystopian, but also fantasy, but like futuristic. It's like one of those kind of things that kind of touches a little bit of everything.
In the first book, it's pretty just fantasy. They're like in a world, there is a town that's controlled. It kind of has the dystopian element a little bit because there's this mean ruler,
just a little.
And he's really evil and you hate him. And then Rachel, who is our heroine, meets up with Logan, and they try to tackle this bad monster and bad man, and it's just really awesome, and it's a really good story. It's a really good world. She writes it so well. Their love is awesome.
There is this scene in the first book when the girl like puts on a dress for the first time, because she's kind of tomboyish, and not even tomboyish. She just prefers to wear clothes that make it easier to fight in, you know.
And she was only raised by your dad.
So, yeah, and dresses aren't really easy to fight in. So, but there's a scene where she's puts on a dress for the first time, and she comes down the stairs, and it's from his perspective, that chapter, and he's just like, don't look at her boobs. And I just thought it was like the funniest, yet still very, very endearing, and it just like totally cemented my love for like CJ Redwine's writing and this character, like this couple, and like that first kiss in the first book.
Yeah, I mean, and the action in it is pretty great, and there's lots of fighting. There's lots of fighting.
Wall climbing.
In the forest, tree
climbing.
Tree climbing.
Running around the woods.
Fire breathing. And then the second book, which is great and awesome, and then the second book comes, and there's a pretty big twist in the world that...
Shh. Nope, just stop right there, because I haven't read it yet.
Like, sometimes, a series can kind of go stale a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I feel like this second book was, like, re-woke, like, the story...
It did not have the second book syndrome.
No!
I think that's a very big issue with a lot of these series, because so many YA books are series. Why are they all series? I mean, I love them, but also at the same time, I'm like, oh, too many series. But I think a lot of books get that, like, their second book is not as adventurous, it's not as fast-paced, their second book just isn't as good as the first one. Or their third book just doesn't really end well. I feel like there are very few trilogies for me that have just, like, ended, and I'm like, yes, that was a perfect ending. And my favorite book or series that has ended recently is Rune and Rising by Leigh Bardugo, the Shadow and Bone series. It was just, like, such the perfect ending that I remember reading it, and I was like, yes.
You, like, close the book, and you're like...
I was like, I am deeply satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So
I just started this. This is what I'm reading this week, as I said. But, I mean, the end of the second book leaves you needing the third book.
Mm-hmm.
So we're addressing those issues currently.
And then finally... another monster of a series, Revenge of Seven by Pittix Lore is out, which is the fifth book in the I Am Number 4 series. It is not the last one. There is one more after this.
I will say that this is my favorite cover of all of them.
Really?
It stands out so much to me. I love the... Whoa!
Sorry, Rise of 9.
But yeah, I Am Number 4 fans.
Yeah, it's pretty
You're
cool.
crazy. You're real happy. You love it. Cool things.
So there's also so many series here, so I'm just gonna stack them. Look at all these books that are all related to each other this week. How many, have you guys ever tried doing this, like how many books you can get stacked?
Hello.
Oh my god, there's so many.
And pretty
No, don't put the paper X on yet. Ooh.
Oh, you're gonna
wait till the top. Wait till we get all the hardcovers.
Well, we're also not stacking them engineeringly appropriate here.
There we go. Oh my god, you can't even see the top. There it is. Huh, I gotta back this thing up.
We've got more. These are all pretty much books that are
Look at all
series
those.
that are new-ish this week.
New-ish.
It's teetering.
Oh god. Hold on.
Teetering. Oh! How many books is it? We did it. Gentle.
Wait.
Gentle. Now you can't see the bottom.
Wait. Slow leering pan. Ooh, like you're checking it out. Oh yeah. Tea time. Oh my god, there's so many.
I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 books. While we are tempting fate, you guys tell us what your favorite series is.
And how many books can you stack without it falling over? That's a challenge to you for your Tea Time Rewind videos.
Do you want to challenge more and bring some more in there?
I think we will see, how about this? We will see who can get the most to stack without toppling over in their Tea Time Rewind videos, and then we will try to beat it in next week's Tea Time.
Yes!
So you have a week to practice, film your Tea Time Rewind videos, and then whoever gets the most, we will challenge you. And if you can stack more books than we can without it falling over, and no help from like walls or anything, then we'll send you a book shimmy tote. How's that sound?
That sounds cool to me.
That sounds cool. Let's check in with...
Because I want to see all of the books being stacked.
Okay, so...
At Stephanie LRX says, will there be a Defiance box set? I don't know, but we'll check.
I don't think so.
Those are like reserved for...
We don't usually do box set. I think there's only like the Selection...
and Divergent.
I think that's it. I honestly don't even think that they're... Yeah, box sets aren't done that often. I don't know why. It's a good question. We should probably ask somebody who's more knowledgeable than us.
We will get back to you.
Okay, so now it's time for your Tea Time Rewind videos. Remember, this week your topics are your favorite place to buy books. So if you've got an indie bookstore you want to shout out,
shout it out.
Shout it out. What's your favorite zombie book and zombie movie adaptation? And what are your favorite series that have recently completed? And what are your thoughts on the series in general? You know, like sometimes do you like one of the books in the series but not the series as a whole? Is it the last book is your favorite, the first book?
It's ripe for discussion, and we want to watch you talk about it.
And we want to shout out last week's Tea Time Rewind contributors.
We watched them all, and we love you.
Bookish and Nerdy, hat tip.
Sally Upside Down.
I Love Books Girl.
Summer Soaks.
Julie Her.
Mom to Triplets 04.
James Booth.
And I'm going to say this wrong. Rosewell Cruz.
Rosarywell
Cruz.
Rosarywell. That's actually kind of cool. Rosarywell Cruz.
I like it too.
That's it for this week. We will be back next week. So many big books on sale next week. Big books. The Jewel is going to be here.
I can't wait to talk about The Jewel with you.
Falling into Place.
I can't wait to talk about Falling into Place with you.
There are a lot of really awesome books coming out next week. And it is a holiday weekend in the United States this coming weekend, so there will not be a Book Nerd Problems on Monday. But
we'll be back.
We'll be back.
There will be videos. And yeah, there's lots of cool things coming.
And now it's time for Derp Face. Okay, what's your Derp Face seem to be this week?
Okay, do you want series elation?
How about when you stack a giant thing of books and you think it's gonna go, but then it starts falling over?
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And all right, we will see you guys next Wednesday.
I feel like you just go.
My go-to face is mouth open and eyes crazy.
All right.
So we'll see you guys next Wednesday at 3:45.
Happy tea time, happy reading.
Happy tea time.
Go read all of the books, because there are a lot out to read now.
And there's a lot more coming your way, so you better make room on your bookshelf.
Get that 964 TBR pile down.
That's so many books.
That's so many books.
Oh my god. All right, we will see you guys next week. Bye.